Hello, me again. So this is part 4 of the Wojtek Tracker Survival knife. So there is 3 more parts to this. They're only short videos, which just basically explains the different features, because I don't want to put it all in one video because it'll be over an hour long. So I broke it down for you so you won't be too bored. So this is part 4, and this is just a quick demonstration of the hatchet portion, the chopping portion of the blade. It's only small, so it's probably only what, 3 inches maybe chopping, which doesn't seem a lot, but as long as you're not going to be chopping down massive trees, it's just starting to rain, so all the better. If it's not raining, you're not training. So yeah, so let's demonstrate this part. Okay, so this part is obviously, because of the shape, you've guessed by now that its primary function is to chop, and obviously you can probably choke up and skin as well from that, but its function is to chop. Now, compared to other trackers like the Tops tracker that I've handled, and obviously the Origin tracker, which is even heavier, this is only a light knife. It's only made from 4.8mm thick D2 steel, so it's not the heaviest, but if you hold it, it is heavy at the front compared to the reel. Not too much, but it's just enough just to give it a nice powerful swing. Now the handle shape there is so that you can grip it in different areas. Okay, so this kind of choil bit there, you can choke up and do final works on there. Or if you're doing some just light chopping, you can obviously put your finger in there and do some light chopping. And then the second portion here, you can actually hold it further back and use the full weight of that blade coming down, which I will demonstrate both. The first portion, obviously the one behind as well. So all the attention is going to be on the knife now, so I'm just going to angle this camera down. I don't edit any of my videos, so and I've really got a phone, so I'm going to angle this down so you can see it better. Okay, can you see that? So this branch here, probably just over 2 inches thick, which is probably the maximum I would go with a knife like this, unless my survival depending on it. But normally this will cater for most jobs, including shelter building as well. So yeah, probably just over 2 inches thick, solid ash. So let's see how this does. I'm going to put my legs apart a bit just in case I miss, and if I miss, obviously just like an axe, you just go through there rather than putting your leg in front. Okay, so I'm going to use this bit first just to do some flicky chops. So hardly using any energy at all, I'm just flicking it, and it does bite in quite well for the size. So okay, so these are just very light, like flicky chops, and you can see how much of this ash, this solid ash, is taken out. And all I've been doing is just flicking my wrist on this portion of the handle here, so I'm not even getting a full swing from here. I'm just flicking my wrist, chop 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 chop. And you'd use this for more close work, like if you need to shave some bark off or something like that. So you can just simply just simply go down, just a light chop. So we'll now move on to the next one, which I can get more power from holding it here. Okay, so I'm going to hold it here. See if I can chop the rest of this off. Yep. Change my grip, I'm going to do this. Okay, so that bit's off already. You can see how deep already. That's just with one chop. Not the best logs, if I'm honest. So yeah, about 2 inches thick, solid ash. I'm just going to move the camera, go back to my chair. World's best cameraman. So yeah. So did some light chopping. Let's move it up a bit. So yeah, did some light chopping. So first of all, I did some flicky chops down here, so you can't really get much power behind that, but still did it. And then by moving my hand back to position number 2, which is back here, I can get full power, full swing into the chop. And as you can see, it chopped through 2 inch thick solid ash, no problem at all. And it's absolutely nothing. It's not even a single blemish on that blade at all. There's no rolls, no chips, nothing, absolutely nothing. It's just crispy clean, no reflections whatsoever. So yeah, very good heat treatment on this, very well done. I've used D2 steel in the past where the heat treat's been, or the tempers, it's been terrible, and even doing that you'd see breakouts on the edge, but this handled it really well. In fact, I'm quite impressed actually on how well this chops for the size. It's not the biggest Tracker knife out there, and it's obviously not the smallest either, so it's kind of mid. But this, to me, this size, this to me, this is the size of a Tracker knife that that's how I was looking for. So it's not overly big. I don't want to chop massive trees down with this. I've got other tools for that. But for general all-purpose tool and master of none, you know, this, I quite like it. I do like it. Design is good. Like I say, I've always wanted a WSK tracker. Like Dream Knives. I handled one before off a mate of mine, but I've never actually took it out in the field and tested it properly. But and because obviously I can't afford one, this is as close as I'm going to get. But unfortunately, I don't think you can get this anymore. Looked on 2 different websites, and this is now all the stock has been exhausted. He only ever said he was making 240 of these, and this is quite a low stock number. This is only number 62. You can see on there, 62 out of 240. But you know, it's good. It is really good. Chops really well. In fact, I'm actually quite shocked on how well this actually chops for the size. I mean, you've only got probably a 3-inch chopping portion there, and it's not a convex. You know, it is a saber grind, but it did it. Quite impressed. So yeah. Okay, so probably squeeze it in this video. Which is going to be the last portion is batoning. So I've got some really seasoned oak. Again, I think it's probably nearly 3 inches thick. So I'm going to try that and just check that edge on that hollow grind to see how it does. So I'm going to just fetch that out, my seasoned oak. Okay, so I originally cut this down. I wasn't actually too sure what I was going to use this for. I was going to make something for it. What? It's like a brick. It is absolutely rock hard. Now there is already split in it, but seeing as though this is the hardest thing I've probably got so far without cutting a tree down, so I'm going to split this, and I'm going to split probably into 4, see if it'll do it. And you've got a massive knot there as well, so even though it looks like it's got a crack in it down there, you know, it's still solid, still very well seasoned, massive chunk of oak. So we'll have a look. So this will test the edge. Test the edge a bit. Let me chair. It's got to be dinner time yet, surely. No. So let's have a look. So yeah, it's going to be quite difficult because obviously I'd have to split it down there. It's probably too wide for this. Yeah, it's probably slightly too wide. But that's a shame. We'll have a go. We'll have a go. So the idea when you baton it is you sink the knife first, but as you can see where the cutting edge is, see this ricasso area here, the log actually passes this bit, so there's not actually anything splitting the wood at this bit. As you can see, it's touching it. So there. So what I'm going to have to do, so it's not going to be a nice clean split. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll have to put this at an angle and draw it down a bit. Okay, so you can see it split down there with the original split. Original split. And what I'm going to do is turn it round. I'm going to split it from that way. Like that. And then just angle it down there. And there we go. So you've got a massive knot at the bottom, and now it's the right thickness for the knife to do it properly. Now bear in mind, this is a hollow grind, this bit here. Okay, so we've got seasoned oak against a hollow grind. So this will really test that hollow grind. Now if the hollow grind is actually done right, it should actually do this no problem. Like my favourite hollow grind, which is the Buck 124 Frontiersman, and that baton's perfectly fine. Yes, you can, if you baton on top of that, yes, it's going to ruin your baton, but we're not bothered about that, because you're good. If you use it for kindling or whatever, you're going to be burning it anyway. So and Ryan has tested this out obviously extensively in the field, so you can imagine that he has been batoning it as well. It's a nasty piece there. So I've got solid oak, knot at the bottom. So sink the knife in. Last piece. Okay, so I've got a bit of kindling for the fire. Move the camera up again. Okay, so we'll spec that edge. It's just bark. still sharp. There's no chips or breakouts on the edge. Obviously the quarter round bit there, the spike took a bit of a battering as well, because if you're remembering, it was slightly too thick for this portion here, so I've had to split it using this bit on both sides. As you saw in the video, that was the only way to split it. So I would have preferred this bit here as a convex. In fact, I probably would have preferred the whole thing as convex, but this is not bad. This is not bad. So either convex or Scandi here, but it's took it well, baton with it, and there's no damage, no rolls, no chips, nothing. Squeaky clean. So yeah, that's impressive. Bear in mind this is a hollow grind, and I've just batoned through some really hard seasoned oak, which I've been saving for a while for a project. But so yeah, so I'm going to cut that video up now and going to go into the final part 5 of my first impressions, conclusions of the pros and cons. So thanks for watching part 4 of the Wilderness Survival Wojtek